Hello? How is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's the universe? How has your week been? Let me just double check. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, how's everyone doing? How's things? That one. Hello Ish and hello Jim. And hello John. How you guys doing? How's oh, let me close. No, I was too late. Sorry. Hello Simon. How you doing? How's things? How has everybody's week been? What has everybody been up to? I've been having several breakdowns. Oh dear. Yeah, what's everybody been up to? Um, didn't ask it directly in a while. How shit has your week been? I spent more money on my bike, of course. Nice. um, this week has been, yeah, yeah. Um, today I worked for free. Interesting. For a good cause, or were you forced to work for free? You gotta give us some details on that one. Um, this week was fine, but I was late for work for the first time in 4 months. Fair, fair. Uh, any reason for your absence? Oh, leap year, right? I see. Nice, well done. Good, good, good. I uh, I don't know. Do I work for free the entire time, or just some of the time? I don't know. Uh, don't work for anyone else, so I suppose no. Anyway, um, fair. Uh, yeah. So I think I mentioned last few streams. I've been attempting to build a color calibrator, color test, like monitor color tester tool. Um, and I've been rifling through different sensors, um, including the most recent one that I was writing an Arduino library for, which is this little board. Um, that little sensor package there. Uh, yeah, that one that didn't turn out so good. So this is technically a proximity and color sensor, which is fine. Um, but it only returns essentially the analog to digital converter readings of red, green, and blue. And while in theory you could calculate it, um, I really don't know how to practically go about that. The other sensor that I was using, the AS2, whatever that when it focuses, to 7261, that there. One, it's complicated because you need this flash chip to store the firmware for this, and then flash the firmware here. But also, the accuracy, um, the like lux. So it gives you XYZ color, which is fine. I can work with that. I can convert it to RGB and lab and whatnot, or LAB, XYY, all that sort of stuff that you might need. The problem is that I also need brightness measurements, and the brightness or the lux measurement that it reports is like it's saying that my 160 nit monitor is running at a like even charitably doing all the division. It's like 300,000 nits or something ridiculous, which just isn't right. And so that's the third sensor I've tried. I'm kind of at my wit's end with it, so I was gonna leave it. I was gonna have a bit of a break, because I got one of these. Now this is specifically this little module here is from Silicon Labs, and it's basically a thread slash matter module. So that module will let you do matter. And they've released an Arduino core and a load of example sketches and stuff. And so, in theory, I can make Matter devices now. The problem is that the Matter devices require an encryption certificate, which you can, so that these boards, whatever, come with a test certificate built into them, which means that for certain scenarios, stuff like Home Assistant, you can maybe make it work, you can maybe have it connect. But if you want to use it with like Google Home or Amazon or Apple, whatever, you need a proper certificate. And that proper certificate, as far as I'm aware, requires $7,000 to sign up to CSA, the like Connectivity Standards Authority or Association or something. CSA IoT is their dash IoT is their website. Who make Matter. $7,000 as a setup fee, and then $3,000 per product per year to have it certified. And then you also need to sign up to OpenThread because Matter uses Thread as its connectivity protocol. So you need to sign up to OpenThread for another $7,000 as setup fee, and then another $4,000 to have it tested and certified per product per year. I'm planning on selling like a few hundred of these, you know, like temperature sensors or whatever. Like, I don't know, 20, 30 quid maybe. I wouldn't even make back the cost in revenue, let alone profit. Oh god, like even just the yearly cost I wouldn't make back, let alone the $14,000 in setup fee. And they do have a lower tier, which is $2,500 per product and $500 per year, per product per year. Well, 2,000 setup and then $500 per product per year. But that really only entails white labeling goods, so someone else makes the entire product, you stick your label, like your logo on it, and then you sell it as your product. I don't want to do that. I want to make my own stuff. I want to use this module, but I want to be able to put that module on my own circuit board and then, you know, design my own stuff. So I don't think that counts. I have contacted CSA, and they did reply to my email, and hopefully they'll reply to my email again. They replied at 2 a.m, so different time zone, but I'm hoping that I get a reply, and I'm hoping that they say that the associate level members can do what I want to do, but I'm not hopeful, so... Yeah, I don't think I'll be making any Matter devices anytime soon, unless I find out that they do just work with Home Assistant, and then I might just do it the naughty way. So yeah. So the certification fees, the manufacturer, like the white label product, they're the one who does all the certification. I pay $2,000 to become a member, an associate member, and then $500 per year to list the product as a certified product. Yeah, this is not a friendly ecosystem. So yeah. Hello Simon, and hello Essentialist, and hello Joe. How you guys doing? How am I doing? I'm having a perpetual breakdown, Joe. Uh, what kind of YouTuber has that YouTuber money? Not me. the just to make one product, that's basically what I make in a year. Like in revenue. So yeah. No. The ecosystem is not designed for small, custom, handcraft, chic fabs. No, it's not, and it's really annoying because it could. Like, if they put aside their hunger for money, because that's the only reason that I can understand that they would want, even for a white labeled good, $500 a year to add the product to a list on their website. Oh, thank you very much, Oddball. On Twitch. Thank you very much. But yeah, like I cannot understand why they need $500 per year to put you on a website. Anyway, essentially, I have. As I said, I emailed CSA, and they did get back to me. They said that the associate member might be what I'm, best interested in. But I said that, like, I replied and said I want to use the module, not the entire product. And is that what you mean, or do I need to be just reselling someone else's product? Because if I'm reselling someone else's product, then one, I'm never going to get beat in, I'm never going to get any sort of advantage from that, so there's no point in me doing it. And two, there's no fun in it. I want to be able to design stuff. I want the challenge of designing an enclosure for a, temperature and humidity sensor, and designing and manufacturing the circuit board, making it open source, all that sort of stuff that I just can't do with their current model. I'm hoping that they say, oh, actually, there's this super secret backdoor that, since you've contacted us and asked, yeah, you can do it this way. No, it's not. But, yeah. Just take a break. I recommend starting on March 1st and ending on the next 29th of February. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, not to derail at this time, any actual interesting tech news this week, Andy? For real? Well, I think that the AMD RX 7900 GRE launching was quite cool. Gigabyte have offered me one, and so I hope I will have that at some point. But yeah, it's the I can't remember what GRE stood for, but it was a Chinese only card that has been available for a little while, but AMD has made it available. GRE has some crippling bug. I saw Harborbox do a retest video, although I haven't watched any of the videos. I've been too busy having a breakdown. But yeah. Yeah, wasn't it like Great Rabbit Edition or something? Golden Rabbit, that was it. Thank you very much. But yeah, does anyone have any information on the potential crippling bug on the GRE card? Ecosystem OSRTT. I would love to make I'd love to make some Matter products. It'd be really cool. I do think that it is likely that the sort of Matter is a more combining force in the sense that you can have Matter devices over both Wi-Fi and over Thread, and so that means that no matter what the product is, which of those communication protocols it uses, it can still function between them. And in theory, it's a bit more open. I mean, Zigbee is open source as well, and it's also run by CSA. But yeah, basically, it is the fact that it is really only for the big players. Really, the notion that it is more open and more free and more fair is a joke. So, yeah. It's not a power supply, John. Hello, DT. How you doing, man? How's things? Apparently, for a GPU having 80 CUs, it should perform much closer to the 17900 DTX, XTX, but it's not. Yeah, fair. I guess the cut RAM in half and Infinity Fabric bandwidth is hurting the card fairly substantially. Well, because it's 16 gig instead of 24 gig VRAM. Is it slower VRAM as well? And if it has lower Infinity Fabric bandwidth, that would also make sense. I know that a lot of games are pushing quite hard on the the memory front these days. So yeah. John, I think it was something that I changed actually. Maybe was it? Live reactions. Yes, I turned it off last week. I think, or the week before. I think it's a 256-bit versus 384-bit bus. Ah, that might make sense. In fact, I can just look it up. Specs. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yes, 256-bit. DDR6 is the XTX 6X? No, it's still DDR6. Although AMD's website doesn't list the bus width for the XTX. Where's Tech PowerUp's database? They're better at this. Yeah, 384-bit, 960 gigabyte per second of bandwidth versus up to 576. Power up link. Wow, it really doesn't perform well, does it? Oof. Yeah, 576. Surprisingly close, despite having a considerably smaller memory bus and less RAM. Anyway, on. I would like a 7900 GRE, but I do really need an upgrade over the 6650 XT. Well, it looked like it was performing against the 4070 Super or something. It seems closer to a 7800 XT than it does 7900 XT. Yeah. I mean, technically it is a 7900 flat, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, that is an interesting one. You normally don't see the GPU vendors making changes like that, like making balance changes like that. They're normally pretty well balanced. They're normally, you know, you wouldn't have something like this where you have 80 CUs that are not able to function well because they don't have enough memory bandwidth potentially. You know, you would normally see better balance. I wonder if that's just like the reject dice though. Like they just had a lot more reject dice than they thought they would, and so they're just shipping them as a lower SKU. Well, different lower. Well, isn't it like £500 or so? I can't remember what that equates to in terms of Nvidia cards. But I could have sworn that. I'll just look it up again, won't I? 700 GRE. 500, 550. Okay. What's 4070? Super. 4070 Super is actually more. It's more like £600. There are a couple that are 450, but yeah. It's about $50 less than the 17900 XT. Let's find out. So the 1700 XT, at least in the UK, is £700 to £750, which means that the GRE is £200 cheaper than the XT. Yeah, there isn't that much in it between the GRE and the 4070 Super, and from just the one Tech Power Uplink database that I saw, that looks like a fair comparison in terms of performance. So I think that's the new exciting fancy thing launched this week in terms of tech. Although in I Make Stuff news, I have purchased and finished redesigning the new response time tool, and they're actually on their way. They're shipped. They might be here as early as Saturday. I need to do all the testing and validation and whatnot yet before I can actually get them out to people. But yeah. Hello, Command and Classified. How you doing, man? How's things? As much as I like AMD and its openness, NVIDIA just does GPUs better. As a sweeping generalization, I would tend to agree. I definitely like AMD's openness, and like we benefit from the openness. Like even NVIDIA users benefit from the openness because now you don't have to spend like shit ton more on a G-Sync specific monitor because FreeSync, you know, AMD brought FreeSync to the market. Yes, technically it's the VESA standard, but they made it available and made it so widely accepted in the industry that NVIDIA basically went, well, we're not going to win this war, so we're just going to support it now. So now, you know, NVIDIA users get to have adaptive sync on every monitor, basically, rather than just the special and expensive ones. Hello, Luca. Commander Classified, I couldn't be happier. Last week I met my sister for the first time. She's been looking for me for 50 years. Well, that's quite the story. I were you separated at birth? What was the you got to give some more information. That's remarkable. I was adopted. Ah, I see. Well, that's very nice. I don't have a pre-recorded script for this one. Awesome, nice. Toxic-ish. Oh dear. Jesus, what you like? John was going for one too. Oh, the dad jokes are upon us. I was gonna. Oh, I was gonna say. I have a keyboard in to review. I don't know how I became a keyboard reviewer because I'm not that into keyboards. But it's called the White Fox Eclipse, and it has a remarkable lore surrounding it. So a guy, his username his YouTube username is Matt30, I think. So I'll call him Matt for the the ease of it. Matt designed a keyboard from scratch called the Brown Fox, which was from the key switch, like the key caps that he had that would fit the design that he made. Hand soldered it, you know, all that sort of stuff. He then worked with what were they called? I literally was like learning about this today and I've already forgotten. Massdrop and another gaming related company to create the original White Fox that was sold through Massdrop. And then the people at Massdrop then split off and made their own company without the original guy. And made the White Fox Eclipse. Now, I must admit, it's a very nice board. It's held together with magnets instead of screws, which has a very... I mean, it's great in terms of being able to get into it, but it's also means that it essentially sort of levitates on the exterior gasket rather than being, you know, crushed together with screws or bolts or whatever. And so it is incredibly like premium and like nice to type on. And so that's what I was filming and writing about today and learning about. Oh, the Eclipse. What information should I know, Essentialist, that I clearly don't? I'm sick of cars parking outside my house. They go across the street and there's no cars parked outside the house. Might have to whippersnip the nature strip. Fair. Yeah. Fair. Not much. Okay. You got to give me some more, because your message, like your comment earlier was very dismissive. Yeah. And no. Amanda Classified says, I was given out for adoption. She was 5 at the time. She was very upset that I didn't come home from the hospital. She vowed to find me, and she did. Well, congratulations. I personally don't like Matt 3.0's keycap profile, which has been shoved down my throat. So I think does the Eclipse have his profile? Because I'm pretty sure that in my learning today, the original Brown Fox was DSA profile, whereas these are, I can't remember, but I didn't think they were DSA. I mean, I quite liked it personally. It was a bit more compact than I'm used to, but I got used to it pretty easily, and it felt great to me. I hit 8K at last today. Nice. Congratulations. Plus we're watching your subs too, waiting for it to hit 100k. Me too, bud. 93.3. I think YouTube says I get about 260 subscribers a month, so we're still a few months away. But yeah, MT3, fair enough. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was all right. So yeah. And on the note of Commander Classified and why it took 50 years, her mum, my mum, I guess too, which is kind of a, yeah, but also it's kind of weird. Gave her a lot of wrong details, so I was looking in all the wrong places. Right. Well, fantastic, and you know, congratulations and you know, all that jazz. But yeah. I wonder the overlap between Shenanigans and Dr. Andy, because adding subs, you'd both be in silver. I do want that plaque. Also, I want the verification badge. You can only get verified after 100k subs, so I need to get there so that I can get the little check mark. It used to be like verification has gone through a weird process on like all of the social platforms. Twitter being the most obvious one. YouTube was like basically you had to have 1 million subs. Basically, that was it. You just had to be big. And now they have seemed to sort of roll it back a bit. So if you have 100k subs and whatever you know post regularly or something, can't remember what it was, you can apply and get it. So yeah. You're doing well, man. Getting close to hitting that critical mass number. Well, thank you very much. I'm somewhat. If you look at Wendell Level and Text channel, they're very slowly, much in the same way that I am, growing. I swear they've been at 400k subs for years, because I don't make you know, super entertainment level content like Linus. I try and be a bit more in depth and detailed, but also I have ADHD, so I can't focus on any one thing. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a bit of a gray zone in terms of more, you know, larger appeal and growing audiences versus specific appeal and smaller audiences. Wendell just hit 420k. Apparently that's nice. Not bad. My cousin from Ireland popped over on Tuesday. My dad popped over. That's not a pop. That's a trek. My dad's sister's son's daughter, however, she is related to me. I didn't even know about it. She knows my neighbor as she grew up in the same town as my dad. Fair. Nice. But that's not a pop over. That's a trek over. Wendell has a staff of his own, not just from his day job, and has been able to hire editors and such. Yes, I'm a one-man band in all of the work I do. From making, well, this isn't one of my hardware tools, from making hardware tools to making YouTube videos, to making car reviews, to making locally links. The links, well, I should be clear, I didn't run solo on that. My friend Dan did the majority of the work. I tried to help. I didn't really know what I was doing, so probably slowed him down more than help. Anyway, that yeah. Unfortunately, Andy, you need to make more stupid faces in your thumbnails, not just have the object of the video on it. Sorry, but that's the sad truth. Well, the thing is that I do actually often when I'm filming, I then before I get up and stop the camera, I do normally like sit and do and they all just look utterly ridiculous, and I hate it, so I don't put them in. Yeah. Also, Windows Day Job has allowed for more items to review / explore, projects to create and share. Yes, I know. Linus is an idiot. When Linus has a particular set of skills, glad he stepped down as CEO to focus on his strength. Yeah. So Dr. Andy should bait the clicks more. Yeah, I'm not one to be swayed by them. Yeah. I think we're going to need to invest in some of your tools as soon as I've got a few monitors lined up. Get to be able to test them a little further. That would be great. Yeah, it's. I must admit that as much as not having 10 million subscribers in a month is, I don't know, sad. Being the one man band who's also the content creator, who's made two seemingly industry standard tools, I'm really proud of that. And so yeah. Um, I much prefer your presentation, honestly. I told you before, but you kind of the youthful version of David Attenborough, which for me is high praise. I love that guy. Well, doubly thank you very much. I yeah, I try to be as sort of honest in my presentation as possible because I'm not one for making things. Well, she's backpacking for 18 months and decided to move here permanently. Something must be in the water. uh, you got me, nice. Oh dear. I purchased a great firewall from China today. That came preloaded with pfSense. OpenSense went on it, and I've tested 2.5 gigabit internet symmetrical. It's on Discord actually. If you're not on the Discord, there's occasionally some fun chats there. And if you're comfortable talking about it, what's your educational / experience background? So I experience. I started this YouTube channel with two friends when I was 15. So in terms of education, I got a D in computing at A level. I did get an A in electronics though, which explains a lot. 3 years ago, no, 12 years ago. Yeah, 2012. I'm the one who created the channel specifically on February 28th, 2012. And I uploaded the first video on March 1st. So yeah, 12 years tomorrow, or yesterday. Yeah. What you call it? But yeah, so my education background is pretty limited. I went straight from from college, from sixth form to doing this full time, and so yeah. So my education and experiences are all visible in the history of the channel, really. But stuff like programming, stuff like electronics, like design and manufacturing through like modeling for or CAD, I suppose, for making like the cases for it and stuff. That's all self-taught. You should be proud of what you do, Bonnie. I take a lot of inspiration from your work and try to improve mine. You do amazingly, and give it a couple of years and you'll be flying. Thank you very much. It is high praise when others look to you for inspiration. So, yeah, but no stupid faces doesn't pay the bills. Given the opportunity, I do the stupid face. Small price to pay if everything else is above board. I'll try it and see. Like how good is your retention on videos? They must be asleep by 30-second mark. Yeah, I don't do enough clickbait in videos, so the retention isn't amazing. I remember 15-year-old Andy. I wasn't subbed then, but I did watch. You look about the same. Hey, I've grown a beard. I've lost the acne. I've bulked out. And yeah. In 3 years' time, I will have been doing YouTube for the majority of my life. Isn't that a crazy fact? Godfish. This is the best that I've got, alright. Well, I do grow a bit on the sides, but it's really scruffy, so no. Cheap 10 gig switch in the Discord. Thank you. I will look at it after the stream, Lou. The biggest lesson you learned along the way was that Razer gets clicks. It really does, and I don't know why. Where's how much is OSRTT? So they're both the latency tool and the response time tool are available on at osrtt.com. The response time tool. So the current version that's technically listed but is out of stock is £200. With the new updated version that has essentially a more sensitive light sensor array. I think because cost of everything has gone up, I think it's going to be 225. So yeah, the latency tool is 150. Or 155 if you include the USB cable and the 2-pin header. Oh yeah. Thanks, John. I know you drive a car, got married, make a living on the internet, making testing tools. Exactly. There's a lot that's changed. I see a lot of car YouTubers starting out, initially no clickbait, then full clickbait. Yeah. Razer or Weaver Chroma reviews where you peaked, man. Truly your magnum opus. Really was. Including jokes that people didn't get. The joke at the start that I was going to steal the stickers because it was the best part of the product. Yeah. Man. You know, the thumbnail for that, I actually changed that thumbnail like a month later or something. That was on my bedroom floor, and that's actually a long exposure photo. I was just playing around and I set the camera up on the tripod, like plugged it in so that the RGB lights turned on, and then did a long exposure photo and did like I had my phone's torch, you know, like the turn on that, and I was like light painting just on the thing so that the exterior was dark, and it came out all right, and so I uploaded it, and then the views went. So yeah, great. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to try and be able to do. I know that a lot of YouTubers, especially bigger ones, have like several thumbnails and titles all planned out so that like for the first hour it's one title and thumbnail, and then you know an hour later they change the title and thumbnail, you know, and then 6 hours later there's another one, and then 12 hours later there's another one. I assume that works, but yeah, it'd be cool to try that sort of stuff, but I don't have the time, mental capacity, and I'm just literally mentally disabled in 2 different ways, which makes that difficult. Also, like, I really want to put subtitles and the timestamps, like the timestamps, the chapters on videos, but it's just such a like a high effort thing for my brain to do that it just doesn't happen. So yeah, it'd be great to have help, but also I can't afford to pay anyone because I barely survive. Thank you very much, DC. That's incredibly generous. Thank you very much. I have no use for the tool, but there you go. To encourage you for the next iteration of the RSRTT kit. Well, thank you very much. I'm on it. The new boards, which I'm now so the any of them out. Actually, I do. Can you tell what's wrong with this one? So this version of the board is the one that I've been selling for I think a year, and this version is one that I fully assemble. There you go, your name and lights twice. Here at home. The problem is that these started having they would stop manufacturing. So I was just reading the chat. These basically stopped working right after I build them. And so I've redesigned it to use different switch chips, and I've now got the microcontroller on the board and a USB-C port. And so these are now being assembled by the same people who make the PCB itself. So all I'll need to do is solder the switch and the headers, and then actually assemble it, test it, validate it, flash the bootloader, and then the firmware, which is what those holes in the board are for. In fact, show you the other side. It's SWD there. So yeah, that's the new version. And there's 6 photodiodes, and they're a lot more sensitive actually per photodiode, as well as the fact that there's another one. I was laughing at I pay him $5 a month and you expect me to timestamp the videos? Maybe. To be clear, I don't expect you to. I'd love the assistance, but yeah, that does seem like a bit of an unusual relationship. My friend literally gets 3x the amount of views when he puts the Wojak meme in the thumbnail. That's just awful. I'll do it. Just give me full channel access. No. I can tell what was wrong with it. Actually, it's yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like super dead. One of the boards that's also bugged. I took all of the components off and then was literally just probing it with a multimeter, and the board itself was the thing that was fucked. So yeah. Health. I've noticed the changing of thumbnails and bigger channels. The thing they have over the smaller channels is staff. They have staff to do everything. They just need to show up and record the video. Yeah. Oh god, John, not that detailed. What was it? Simon said Austin Evans was talking about the thumbnail thing. I haven't watched his channel in a while. What was he saying about it? Do you remember at all? Like positive, negative? Because I know that it was Veritasium that did a video like a while ago, where he was talking about that sort of like clickbaiting, changing titles, thumbnails, whatever. But yeah. Have you been getting random screensavers as press kits in emails, Andy? Like some other channels have been pwned by Elon in his crypto stream. So no. So So I have really quite aggressive spam filters on my my public emails, for good reason. Uh, but yeah, uh, no, anything that has an attachment that I didn't specifically request, I don't open. I don't even open the email. It's just not worth it. Uh, so yeah. What was the fuck sticker though? It was, uh, it's a thingy label maker. It was to remind me that this board, specifically the chip that's under that. Well, focus on the thing, not on me. The chip that's under that is yeah. Specifically that this is one of the broken ones, because I built a batch of boards and some of them worked, some of them didn't, and I kept mixing them up between them, so I put a sticker on it to remind me which one was which. And then I think I was also doing some testing on to try and work out what was wrong. This was like months ago now. So yeah. I think it was in his milestone video saying they have several different thumbnails and change them to get more views, and he spends hours on the analytics of it. So that's the thing, is that I don't have hours to spend on looking at analytics for stuff. So yeah, and I don't have the energy for it either. I unsubscribed from Austin. Prime example of taking the stupid thumbnails too far. Also, the content is just Pokemon cards, not my thing. Can't even remember what in the world I subscribed in the first place. I thought he did tech. I thought that was. Does he not? Fair. Like I said, I haven't watched in a long time. Just don't do the hold the chin thumb thing every time I see that. Makes me want to punch them on it. Duly noted. I normally end up just like smiling and pointing to the thing, because that's the only stupid thumbnail I'm comfortable with. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll grow some new expressions. Desk flip from hold the chin. I heard about channels changing thumbnails after 6, 12, 24 hours, generate more clicks, cycle through themes, so different segments of audience get a thumbnail that appeals. Yeah, I think I can imagine that the larger your channel is, the more effective that is as well. Yeah. Austin Evans videos are just tech from Wish, Temu, or AliExpress, or other dubious retailers. Okay, fair. Yeah. Yeah, like I know Donut Media, like the car channel, do it a lot. I swear I've seen Linus do it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I will consider the meme faces, but yeah. Donut is just the LTT of the car community. Oh yeah, 100%. JM Car Guy does it. I have actually seen. I saw. YouTube recommended me one of his videos the other day. I don't think I watched it, but yeah. It's generally more entertainment than serious tech. Yeah, I think. Generally speaking, the larger your audience and the more general your audience is, the more entertainment it kind of has to be. That's as a generalization anyway. Have you seen the Grand Tour has been sold to Discovery? Oh, I haven't. Because it wasn't Sandjob the last Grand Tour, or have they sold it to Discovery so that they can do more? Well, yeah, you can't be niche if you're popular. Yeah. Oh, there's one more. Is it? But the last from Amazon, right? Because that, like, especially Clarkson, very old. um, but yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that they're still doing it. I mean, they're all kind of old. Um, but yeah, I'm surprised that they're still physically able to do stupid stuff like that. But fair. They didn't sell the Grand Tour to Discovery. It's Amazon licenses Grand Tour and Clarkson's firm to Warner Bros. Discovery in Poland and Italy. Oh, okay. So it's even very significant. Specialized. He's only 63, just really fat. Yeah, he's also been smoking all his life and looks it. David's sarcasm is next level. Well worth a lot watch. Don't learn anything, but have a good laugh. I went through I guess a phase of watching like all of David's videos. Maybe it was last year, and then basically YouTube did its thing, and his channel disappeared from all of my feeds and everything. So yeah. David does tech. In today's video, we use my entire expansion to upgrade my setup. Oh, I hope that I'm not doing YouTube until I'm in a pensioner home. I'm only 38 and I feel old. I'm only 27 and I feel old, although I am also disabled, so... I only watch their special episodes near the end of their BBC run. So I remember watching Top Gear live as a child, like as a whatever I was, 6 or 7 year old, on a Sunday afternoon. Like live. I remember I think I might have missed the first season, but the second season where May arrived, I remember watching May arrive, like watching that episode live, and have watched it basically since. There was a Top Gear before Clarkson, although here's some lore I didn't know about. The remains of that show were sold to make Fifth Gear. So Fifth Gear is actually the original Top Gear. But yeah, there was a Top Gear was a BBC show. It was a very factual motoring show, like normal, review, sort of review show, and that whittled away to nothing. That was cancelled in, I want to say it was like the mid 90s, maybe early 90s, I can't remember. And then they took that review show, sold it to, who was it, like Channel 5 or something, to make Fifth Gear. They started making Fifth Gear, and then Clarkson, along with John Bentley, who I've met twice, restarted Top Gear as they started it off semi-factually, and then it devolved into the madness that we know and, let's face it, love. So yeah. Nobody likes Fifth Gear, apparently. To be honest, I didn't really like it as a kid either. Vicky and Tiff are cool. And I like Johnny, especially Johnny's late break show stuff on YouTube now. Very cool. Preparing a hardware. Hello, how you doing? Thank you very much for popping in. Indeed. Actually, as I was saying earlier, I have some good news. The boards are going to be here sooner than I thought. I still can't guarantee when they're going to actually arrive, like and be ready to ship, but it's looking, if I don't find any issues, more like 2 weeks rather than a month. Hopefully, no promises. Just to clarify. Yeah. Thanks, John. OG Pebble Top Gear ended in 2001. Was it really that late? Wow. Fair. Glad to see you're better. You're ill at the end of the last episode. I'm always ill. But thank you very much, Richard. DC, I was super unhealthy and did a huge health kick as I approached 50. Now I'm in the gym and stuff. Nice. That's good. That's very good indeed. And yes, Joe's progress. Wait, I think he's just off screen. Has been fantastic as well. And big congratulations there. Are we likely to find out what happened to Flintoff with the crash? Do you think? Literally changes outlook on life. I don't think so. I think the discussion from like Chris Harris and from BBC in general was very much like respecting his privacy and life basically. So yeah, I don't think so. Obviously, wish him the best. Not that me wishing the best really does much, but yeah. Wonderful. Did I miss? Essentially, I feel like modern Top Gear is okay. It just didn't live up to the original trio's hype. Well, I think the whole discussion was why did they feel they needed to carry on with basically no break in between and really trying to copy their style rather than making something that is more, unique to a degree. Obviously, I think they did eventually find a bit more of a rhythm to it and a bit more of a style, but yeah. I don't know. Who'd have thought driving cars very fast was dangerous? Who knew? The last iteration was forced, whereas the old show was a lot more natural. Yeah, I mean, like watching see Simon, watching the progression over like what 20 years or whatever almost. That was a natural progression. They sort of fell into their places, as it were, rather than the sort of reboot, as it were, which was very much like forcing people to try and fit into the empty molds rather than creating new molds themselves. Tipper recently got Kraken 240. You couldn't get the LCD to work in Linux. Tried various apps. In the end, I got it working by installing Windows in VMware with the extension pack and USB pass-through. Interesting. That is quite the workaround. Oh dear. I think that will do it for this week. The Kraken 240 is a water cooler, yes. But yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. As always, these are every Thursday night at 8 p.m. UK time, so if you do want to pop back next week, feel free. Otherwise, yeah, hope you all stay safe. Hope you all have fun. Hope you all have a great week. And yeah, if you want to chat more, jump to the Discord. Otherwise, tomorrow for video, Monday for video as always. Yeah, see you next week.